Hello, hello. 1 second. I think that's probably good. Alright. How is everyone? Jesus Christ. I don't know why it's glitching all of a sudden, but hey, here we are. So, how is everyone? Good evening. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this app, but on my main account and this account, past 2 days now, I have been getting violations constantly for on my lives for what is it? Something about behavior. You know what? I'll look it up together. So it's something about behavior not being tolerated or something. It's weird. No matter if I'm talking or if I'm singing, it's bizarre to me. Very interesting. And it's only been the past 2 days. It's like TikTok has some vendetta or something against me. I'm not sure, but it's fucking nuts. So, uh, this is what it says every time. This behavior is not in line with our policies. Gifting is suspended for in this live for 10 minutes. Recent feature continuous and monotonous actions without clear objectives of sustaining engagement. Bitch, we're in America. I'm allowed to do what the fuck I want on my live. But yeah, repeatedly. Happened 3 times in my life earlier. It happened on here yesterday. Or, whatnot. It's very. I mean, what the fuck? Never had this problem before. So I find it interesting. So that's. So what is it? They want me to continuously talk about the shit that I'm tired of talking about? And there's nothing I can do more about it till I go do the goddamn DNA test. Is that what I gotta talk about all the time? Because it's completely fucking stupid. But hey, what do I know? You know. So, yeah. That's my rant. TikTok is really fucking. I'm go live on Insta, but I can't go live with our own followers. I just checked. Well, I didn't just check. I checked a little bit ago. So yeah. Anybody else have that problem when they go live? No, just me. Shocking. So, how was everybody's day? I already know how hers was, or her evening anyway. So, I'm trying to figure out what I can talk about or what I can do on here that TikTok won't do this bullshit anymore. Is it TikTok doing it, or does it mean I've been reported multiple times? Is TikTok doing it on its own, or is someone reporting me for bullshit again? That's my question. I'm willing to bet it's someone reporting me for bullshit reasons. This behavior goes against our standard. What the fuck does that even fucking mean? I'm so confused. You know. I'm willing to bet that it's somebody reporting me because at this point in time, the desperation, right? Couldn't get me to shut up. Couldn't get me to look crazy enough. Couldn't, like, the amount of things that they've tried. So now just continuously report me? Okay. Utterly fucking pathetic. So, goddamn. So TikTok must be having their monthly, right? Y'all know what I mean by that. At least I hope you do. When they, give you restrictions and shit like that for no fucking reason. How is everyone else? How was your day? How was your week? saw a video on here earlier, maybe half hour ago, and for some reason, my anxiety went through the goddamn roof, and I started crying. And the video was part of the whole Epstein thing. And it was girls in white dresses dancing blindfolded, and it's going and turning in circles. And Trump was in the video too, by the way. But I don't know why, but it made my anxiety go through the goddamn roof, and I started crying. No idea why. So there's that. I'm not sure if I'll ever know why a video like that would make my anxiety like go through the roof or whatnot. Um, yeah, but it's more than that. For my anxiety to go through the roof like it did, that's a little different. Crying, yes, that's understood because that's what I mean. My anxiety going through the roof, though, it's a little different. I don't know why. That's what's bothering me is why did my anxiety go through the fucking roof? Maybe it's better I don't know. I already know enough, and I don't want to know any. I don't want to remember anymore. The memories that I've talked about for the past year and a half, 2 years are in those files. You know that, right? Things I remember are in those goddamn files. Yeah. So, for my anxiety to go through the roof, I'm not too sure, but I'm wondering. And maybe I should not be wondering. Because I don't think I want to know. I don't want to remember anything else. I don't. I just want to be happy. I kind of figured that. Yeah. I don't. That that has crossed my mind, uh, several times. I'm okay. I'm alright. There's not just one island, you know that, right? There are islands that people cannot go on for one reason or another. It's illegal for people to go on these islands. Yeah. Um, those islands where it's illegal for people to go on. How much you want to bet there are? Get my drift? How much you want to bet there's children there still in these islands that are illegal for anybody to go to? It's been going on for thousands of years. The whole Epstein Island, the whole Epstein thing is just the tip of the iceberg. The tunnels. There are multiple tunnels. There will be tunnels in the apartments upstairs, the upstairs apartments, and they will have the paintings on the walls that you will find in Sunday school with the bright, colorful paintings on both sides of the walls going down. And then I figure when you get to the bottom, because I have two different memories of tunnels. One I always remember because I opened the door, it was there. The other one is memories other memories I've had. Since finding out that I was well, since 2023 when I got out of that house, I started having vague memories. Um, the tunnels with the colorful paintings and that the paintings go all the way down through through the tunnels, that one tunnel, and then you get to the bottom is where another tunnel is, and there are no paintings on those tunnels. They're just rocks, stones and rocks, and yeah. Like if you've ever been through the best way I can describe it is if you've ever been to Carlsbad Caverns, right, or any cavern, or any whatever. It's like the rocks in there, kind of, with the moisture and that on them. Um, where I was, there was no. I don't know where I was, but I was kept in a cage, and I could see out the window at night. About like 8 probably. You could see the stars. There were no there were no street lights or anything like that. So I'm not real sure where I was kept, but I'm sure I was kept in multiple places until I ended up in that family, and then it most likely continued till 2017. Off and on. Yeah, I wondered why my ex-husband was obsessed with the Masons. Not my first husband, my second husband. He was obsessed with the Masons, watching them shit about the Masons all the fucking time. Said multiple times he wanted to be one. They have no power, you know. Think of it like the Wizard of Oz. You know, when Dorothy goes to Oz and all powerful Oz, right? This all powerful wizard in Oz controlled everything, right? Shit. And what's that got to do with shit? The only power these motherfuckers have is the power you give them. That's the only power they have is the power you give them. They divide us all because if everybody figured out that the division shit was purposely done and then putting us against each other because of race and all that, it's all made up by them. If everybody woke up and realized that, they would have no chance. If you go to my main page, there's a video that I posted with the sound. And it's someone, like, I'm sitting there, but the sound is playing. And she was reading something written by one of the Rothschilds back in a long time ago. And yeah, you want to hear it. You do want to hear it. Trust and believe. They have no power. It's all it's all a mirage. It's all make believe. They have no fucking power. When people get taken out, their lapdogs do it, not some mystical magical shit. Yes, it's all an illusion. The Wizard of Oz. Because the Rothschild person who wrote all of what he wrote said if we woke up to fight, if we realized what was going on, and stood up against them, they'd be fucked. Basically. Yeah. It's an illusion. It's all the only power these motherfuckers have is the power of you. And then the lapdogs, right, and that kind of thing that protect them. Um they're not even members, but they think they are. The police, the FBI, and all that, they all think they're members of this goddamn cult. It's to protect them. If the motherfuckers would wake up and smell the roses, oh yeah. He's in that video that I saw that freaked me out. And come to find out there's a lot more survivors than I knew of, and I'm starting to I've been sent videos of other survivors. Yeah, it's it's about that time. About that time. I do want to ask: has anybody recently gotten any DM from anyone claiming to be related to me? I'm very curious, actually, if anybody else has, because someone on my live last night claimed that they had, and then was asking me a bunch of questions, which I've answered multiple times. Yeah, I didn't think so. I wasn't sure. It was just another. I don't know. I think they're getting, you know, they get desperate after a while. They can't shut me up. They can't do anything to me, and they know it by now. So now maybe the whole thing, me getting restrictions out when I'm live, is maybe they are reporting me. Is that the last? I guess that's the only thing they can fucking do. Well, I mean, look, it's been going on for 3 years. What do you think? Look how bad it got, though. You gotta like, it got bad, and I went through all the shit I went through with these motherfuckers, and I'm still here. They couldn't shut me up. They couldn't scare me off, nothing like that. They spent a lot of money trying. They spent a lot of money paying people trying to shut me up, trying to make me look crazy and everything else. I'm sure I get recorded and still posted because they're getting money from it. They're being paid, and I mean, Scam Slam, she gets paid for posting me and people watch it. She gets paid on YouTube to make me look like a scammer, a beggar, or whatever. It's actually really appalling, but hey, it is what it is. Keep making me famous, motherfucker. I don't give a shit. You know. But then Dollface, she's most likely related to Scam Slam or the same person, one of the two. Yeah, it is what it is. Make me famous, bitches. Make me famous. So, and I haven't gone back to the gym yet because my legs are like the top of my legs fucking hurt so bad. I'm never doing squats again. Nah, because if I can't walk or even go to the gym for days after doing a set of squats, and fuck that shit. I will just work out like I used to. I don't need to do that shit. I do 100 pounds at 100 count on the leg presses. It's fine. The same fucking shit. Only the top of my legs don't want to fucking. Oh my god. Oh, never fucking again. Never again. And I'm not. Nah, I'm not doing the personal trainer either. I will save my money. Thank you. Save my money instead of doing that shit. So, um, it's just. It's been quite a bit going on. I don't know if I should be nervous or anxious or what about going and doing that DNA test, but I am nervous actually. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I get over there and talk to them. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Are they going to detain me, keep me there till the DNA test comes back? Are they going to give me the time of day? I like going through my fucking head. I know everything will be okay. So, then my sleeping pattern's all fucked. My sleeping pattern is fucked. Like, I'm not sleeping right at all. It's like I'm sleeping for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, then I wake up. Then I'm up for an hour or two, then I go back to sleep for maybe an hour, hour and a half, that kind of thing. So at about 5:30 in the morning, I'm like, fuck this, I can't do this, I need sleep. So I eat two brownies the size of four, and then I wake up with a hangover. I go back to sleep, wake up 9:30, 10, 10:30. Today was like 11 with a fucking hangover. Anybody have any idea what's good to help me sleep that would be all natural? Not Tylenol PM, not ibuprofen PM, anything all natural. Uh-huh. And they're homemade. So I got one here. I'm just gonna do the one. See, I'm not doing four this time. Two this time. I'm doing just this. And probably one of these sleep packages. Try and hopefully I'll get some sleep. And then waking up to go to the restroom because my age, when you get my age, you've already gone through menopause and all that. You're waking up, going through the to the restroom, what, 2, 3 times a night, and with my legs hurting, it about kills me to get up. Like, oh fuck, oh. The things you have to go through when you're in your mid to late 40s, and so on. Even early 40s, I'm not gonna lie, even early 40s, but as you get older, 3 p.m., fuck that shit, no. It's like 2 a.m. or, oh, it is 2 a.m., shit. 2 a.m. and I'm still drinking liquid shit. And that is a Cali Blueberry Pomegranate, zero sugar. Yeah. I thought I just said myself. Like, and then recovering from 63. Oh, I'm what? My legal age is 45, 46 most likely. But my body's been falling apart for a very long time. I have a high chance of I'm at a high risk of breaking a hip over the next 5 years. I bent down one time to tie my shoes and I ended up with rib fractures or contusions. So much fun. I went for 3 days before I ended up going to the ER because I couldn't take it anymore and the pain got so bad. For 3 days, I'm like, it'll be fine. Be a good day, I'll be fine. No, it kept getting worse and worse. Finally went to the ER. And yeah, doctor examined me. But then when he got the results back from the x-rays, he examined me another 5 fucking times, asked me, are you sure you're okay at home? Are you sure you're safe at home? Yes, I'm safe. I live by myself. The reason he thought I was being physically abused at home was because I have old rib fractures, old broken ribs and that never healed properly. And I said it because I'm like, well, I don't remember ever breaking my ribs or anything like that. And they said probably from childhood. And then the dentist told me this tooth right here, the short one, would be from when it was coming in. It got deformed because I would have been very sick with a very high fever on antibiotics. And I would have been around 6 years old, he said. Now, that's kind of interesting. Because if that's the case, right, what would have made me have a very high fever where I had to be on antibiotics? And now And he said it was around 6. What if that's why they left the cage open? Because I was so sick. So they had the antibiotics. They thought I'd be okay. They thought they'd be safe. I wouldn't go anywhere because I was so sick or in a fever and everything. What if I, did get better and then they didn't know I got better? What if that's how? What if that's why they left the cage door unlocked and that's how I ended up escaping? Because he said around 6 years old is when the tooth would come in, and I know I ended up in that family approximately 1986. I was kept in a cage as a child. Hi, I go by Grace Marie, legal name is Heather. I was kidnapped as a child and trafficked. The memories I've talked about for a year and a half, 2 years now, are in the goddamn files. I didn't know that till I was told. So what cage? Cage I was kept in. Any other questions? I mean, that's an odd question to what cage? I said that's why they left the cage unlocked. It's most likely because the dentist said this tooth, it would have come in deformed like it is because I would have had it would have been I had a high fever and I would have been about 6 years old and I would have been on antibiotics when that's why was deformed. I didn't end up in that family. I escaped probably when I was running. I ended up in that family about 1986. Um, when I escaped, I remember running. I ran down the. I remember running down the street, and then I ran up the street and crossed the very busy street. Ended up at the elementary school, and before I could get the doors, Linda caught up with me in the car. Got me in the car, beat me on the way back to the house. Got me in the house where I continued, and then the next thing I remember was I was in the shower with the man I grew up knowing as my uncle. I was at the back of the shower, he was at the front of the shower, messing with the faucets. And then the next thing I remember after that was I couldn't stop urinating. So I also wonder if that's why they redid the basement, so I wouldn't remember. The things I do remember are horrific. Nightmares and horror movies combined. But the things I don't remember are far worse than what I do remember from what I've been told. I've also had the advice that maybe it would be better if I don't remember. maybe it would be better to drop it and not remember. It's a little late for that shit. You know? Sorry. The first thing the first memory I had, I always remembered the day I was taken and waking up in the car, and that from the time I was about probably 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. Well, I was on here one day, and about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little longer, probably 3 weeks now. Um, and I was told by multiple people that the things I've talked about, my memories over the past 2.5 years, or year and a half, 2 years, are in those files. And I've been told there are other survivors that talk about the same things, and I've actually been sent videos, and listening to them is like hearing somebody tell what I've been through. I and then I commented on a psychic tarot reader that I follow a while back after I found out. She was talking about the files and that, and I said, I'm one of the survivors that they kidnapped me, trafficked me, tried to sacrifice me, and failed. They're terrified of me, and apparently I'm in their book. And one of the Rothschild family members liked that comment. And a Rothschild liked that comment. I've had I have had members of that goddamn cult try and recruit me and everything, and had a conversation, went normal, as normal as you could get with these motherfuckers. And I said, there's reason to be terrified of me. You know all about me. He says, no, Grace, I don't know anything about you. Because clearly I don't go by my legal name. And I said, what do you know about Heather McCord? What's in your book about her? That's when his tone changed to, I gotta go by. And then he blocked me, and then he unblocked me, and said he took screenshots of the full conversation. And he was in Chicago now. And this was a few months back. And this member is from South Africa. Member of the Illuminati from South Africa gave me an unaliving threat. And then after he said he was in Chicago, he blocked me. I took screenshots, including of the Rothschild liking the comment and his page and everything. Yeah. When I was sitting in my car in 2023, that's when I had my first memory of anything horrific. It was a basement, I was getting ready to make a video or whatnot, and or call somebody. I can't remember which. But I closed my eyes, and broad daylight, sitting in my car, closed my eyes, and it was like I was taken to this dungeon cellar basement thing. There were three fireplaces. There would be a pillar with the torch that was lit, and the walls and the pillars were made out of smooth pebble, really big smooth pebbles. There would be a pillar, and then behind this open space would be a fireplace, pillar, fireplace, right? There were children, there were adults. Um, that's how the whole cannibalism shit. That's how some of the children actually lost their lives. Well, because they were doing it while they were alive. Yeah, I've talked about that before. I think the first time I talked about that was about a year and a half ago. So, the tunnels, the beginning of the tunnels will be in an upstairs apartment. They all, most likely all of them are, in an upstairs bedroom, or upstairs apartment. These houses or apartments are owned by the Illuminati, members of the Illuminati, not the higher up ones. The elite are not the higher up members. The higher members up are, they could be your neighbors, they could be your doctor, they could be you name it. They live like, they act like they're middle class, that kind of thing. I know from experience, family I grew up in. Um, no, the leader is not this Mother Bertha person that they claim. That's just a front. I think I know. I actually think I know who the leader is, and and if I'm right, I actually know her. I'm pretty sure the leader is always in that family that I was in because, um, Alta was the leader back then. They called her Grandmother Hayden. And the reason I'm pretty sure that I know who the leader is now is because she does everything everybody does everything that they're told to by her. She tells them to do something, they do it. Or they agree with her, whatever. For example, when I was 19, I was in a hospital for trying to myself. It was after being released to the hospital and then put in the mental hospital. Because that's what they do when you try it yourself, right? I told the therapist um, about her stepson and what he did to me. And so we had a family therapy session. Morning. Had a family therapy session. And Linda, Ralph, Brad, Joan, Jack, Sue, John Howard, his, now ex-wife, they weren't married at the time, before they got married. They were all there. Everybody had their dog, basically. and sitting in a big circle. Therapist says, "So, you know," she says this that he so and so did that Brian did this to her, and then Linda flat out said she's lying. She fantasized it. That never happened. And the therapist says, "You're right. It didn't happen. She fantasized it." So yeah, everybody does what she tells them to do. When she says something like that, then oh yeah, you're right. So that Crystal told Tracy, "Okay, you're my mom, and I'm not sure who you are. I'm guessing you changed your name." I'm guessing. I'm here. Wait, are you who I think? I don't know. Are you who I think you are? Yes, I thought so. I was like, Crystal Tracy, that's new. I thought, I was thinking you were, but I wasn't sure. You know, you can never be sure about these things. But, you know, my legs are still hurting. I am not doing the whole, I'm not getting a public, or a public, I'm not having a personal trainer. It's like, it's not doing me any good. He didn't teach me anything except how to do squats and shit like that. I just wanted to, I want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Okay, well, you didn't do anything that I always do, but you did squats and shit like that. Okay, I think I'll pass on spending that amount for a personal fucking trainer when I could go do the weightlifting that I always do, work out the way I always do, and be able to go to the gym every day or every other day or whatever, instead of doing these fucking squats and shit like that once a week where I fucking is a horrible pain and for only 30 minutes. Now let me get this straight. Personal trainer, right? You can have a personal trainer, sessions with a personal trainer for 30 minutes twice a week is $400 a month. Or have 30 minute session with a personal trainer for 30 minutes for once a week for $220 a month. I was considering it. Not after all this. And then he said he was going to send me a list of things to get at the grocery store. Never fucking did. You know. So, yeah, I don't think I need a personal trainer. I think I just need to do what I need to do. And I'll be fine. You know. Because first he said he was impressed how well I did, and then he's like, "Well, you almost got it. I think some more sessions will be good for you, and then you'll really get it." More sessions of what? What exactly are you going to teach me that you didn't do anything the first fucking time? I'm good. I'll go work out my way. Thank you very fucking much. I go out work out my way. I save over $200 a month. I thank you very much. I'll work out my motherfucking way. That's fucking nuts. Like that's crazy to me. And I was gonna do it too. Then I started thinking about it, and then today not being able to barely move again, and it's been like 3 days later now. 2 days, 3 days later. So no, Wednesday. So yeah, 2 days later, and I'm still having issues, and it shouldn't be like this. So I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done with the fucking personal trainer shit. I would go to the gym and work out like I normally do. I don't need to do fucking squats. I can do the leg press like I always do. Get the same fucking results. And be able to move. I can do 100 pounds and 100 count on the leg presses and still be able to go the next day and do it again. I can do it 3 times a day and go the next day and do it another 3 times a day. But then the squat, for some reason, you know. Oh my god. Oh, trying to get comfortable is impossible. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. See me, I'm drinking vitamin water, zero sugar. Zero calories. And then a Diet Pepsi. Yeah. Which again, zero calories. And so, and I'm gonna start. Like I've decided to. Yeah, I did the steak last night, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing steak anymore. It's just not. It's okay. I just don't like it like I used to. I guess my taste buds are changing, or I'm just evolving. I don't fucking know, or just meat is not that great anymore. I don't know. But I'd rather do chicken anyway. At this point, I could probably become a vegetarian before long. You know? Even with, yeah, it's weird. Like, even with seasons, I gotta put seasons in it. I mean, making stuff like shepherd's pie, that kind of thing, right? Yeah. Well, pork isn't that great for you. But, chicken, turkey, that kind of thing. Poultry. Um, so I think I'm just gonna stick with chicken, which is weird. And yeah, you know, it's healthier too. Like like the top of my thighs and everything on both my legs. I feel like somebody beat me on the legs. I do, however, think I'm gonna end this because I'm tired and I need to get rest and hope to God that my legs feel better in the fucking morning because I would like to go out. I'd like to go to the gym. I know there's a reason for everything, so evidently there's a reason I'm in so much pain with this, right? Because me feel for me to feel this way still, like hurting this bad still, even now, that's not normal for me. So am I not supposed to go to the gym? Is something like I'm confused. Anybody know what like like I said, I know there's reason for everything, and there's always like if you're not meant to do something, there will be something stopping you from doing it, right? So am I not supposed to go? Am I not meant to go to the gym? That's my question. Am I not meant to go to the gym? Because I want to start working out. That am I not meant to go to the gym? Because I'm seriously wondering. Because this is weird for me. I shouldn't be hurting like this. Not just from doing squats. What's the dumbest shit? I didn't do anything after. I walked the 20 minutes there after I got off the bus at the wrong spot, and then I did the squats and a couple other things. Even stretched beforehand, which I don't normally stretch. And hey, I'm still able to go back to the gym the next day. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. What? Oh, fuck, I don't hurt so bad. Oh. I don't know what hurts so bad. It shouldn't be like this. It's never been like this. Evidently, for one reason or another, I guess I'm not meant to go to the gym. I don't fucking know. Hopefully, I'm wrong and I'll feel better soon. And I'll be able to go back to the gym and I'm gonna work out at my pace. That kind of thing. Did that personal training go show it? Of course, I don't shine. You know. Yeah, but yeah, it's just from the knee up. And just the top from both from just all across the top. Not underneath, not the lower part of my legs, just from the knee up. It's weird. Yeah, it's with that just the top part of them, not the not the back, just the top part. I don't understand it, and it's not getting better. It hurts. Oh, Lord have mercy. Evidently, I'm gonna have to. No, I'm 5'4". I'm 5'4". So no, I'm not tall. The person that I believed was my biological mother was tall, but no. There's no way she could have been my mother or anybody else's. That's what happens when they're born intersex and being impossible to ever conceive. So see, not only are they going to have problems when my DNA test and all that, only it didn't happen. I didn't have any problems till I did squats, and I've never done squats before, so I'm pretty sure it's from that. Yeah, I don't have a UTI. Because it would also burn or whatever when I peed too. Yeah, I did the squats like 2 days ago, and I'm still having problems walking and getting up. And yeah, it fucking hurts. Fuck having a personal trainer. I will do it on my own because when I work out on my own, number one, I'm not doing fucking squats. But when I work out on my own, I'm able to go back multiple times a day after I'm done. I can also go the next day. This shit, uh, hate this. Damn it, he still hasn't graded it. So still waiting on the grade for my research paper. But right now my grade is a 90.3809 in class. So have an A. Have an A, bitches. Oh, fuck. And that's my that's gonna be my final grade. Is whatever uh whenever my paper comes back, that's my final grade, whatever it is. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. And next term, which is next week, which is actually Sunday, Monday. Um, Psychology. See, bitches want to play with me. Yeah, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to touch them, nothing like that. But sure as shit, you're gonna wish you hadn't fucked with me if you keep fucking with me. You're not gonna like the outcome. Especially since I used to want to be a profiler and get in their heads. That's why I started studying criminal justice and that, because I wanted to be a profiler. I started studying criminal justice and all that kind of thing. Uh, serial, serial killers and all that. I started studying all that when I was like probably 11, 10, 11 years old. Yeah, I wanted to be a profiler for the FBI at that age. I don't know why, but now I do. I think the fact I've always been a natural born, I'm basically a natural born detective. I'm good at it. I just not really what I want to do. I think, I think the reason I've decided it's not, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. But it's not really what I want to do. Is because of everything I'm going through now and what I have been going through, and I think maybe the reason I'm supposed to be in school for criminal justice for right now is because I'm learning and that kind of thing, right? And it has helped me figure out all the shit I figured out. Like, for example, say I go do the DNA test and it comes back as a match for Catrice, right? If it does. Been missing for over 44 years. Law enforcement that couldn't figure it out in that amount of time, and then I solve it in what, less than a year. Think about that. No, like, little less than a year and a half. Because I think it was December when I figured it was somebody with no heart, no soul, no offer fucking record. Yeah. So it was then, and then I started doing the investigating, and that's so about December is when it started that I started doing the investigating on my own, trying to find out who I really am. So with everything that I found, and with a little help from some people, a couple people, most of them trying to steer me in the wrong direction. Um, Even with that, being steered in the wrong direction numerous times, it's still been less than a year and a half, and I figured it out. Almost. Once we prove who I really am, then I can say I definitely solved my own kidnapping. I basically have, you know, the only missing piece of the puzzle is who am I? My identity is the only missing piece. My real identity. That's the missing piece of the puzzle. Once I find out, once I prove who I am, um, basically it's solved, except, well, solved on my end. Once I prove who I am, I don't have to do any of the work anymore. The real authorities will take care of it, you know? And I know they will. That's the feeling I have. It's gonna be before we know it. And what helps, I think one thing that helps me is that the reporter, um, he believes me. And all I had to do was show him the picture of Sue, you know? I think that helps because I know that once the proper authorities see the evidence, especially her picture and that, my birthmarks and that, um, yeah, that helps knowing, for him to believe, basically believe me. Um, that's the feeling I got because he said I needed who I needed to contact. Uh, that I need to contact them. Um, Him saying that helps a lot because now I know they'll most likely listen to me when when I go over there and show the evidence. I can't wait. Hopefully, get the test done, and hopefully, it won't take long to get the results back. I just don't know if they're gonna I don't know if they're gonna want me to stay there till the test results come back, or if I'm gonna be able to come back here before the results come back. I don't know yet. So I'm like, when you're in between a rock and a hard place, because I'm like, do I get a return ticket, or do I wait till I get there and get a return ticket, or what do I do? That kind of thing. Or do I get a ticket where I can change it if I need to? Probably do that. Get a return ticket and then I can change it if I need to, or you know, because, I'd rather have a return ticket just to be on the safe side. Um, but at the same time, I don't know if they're gonna want me to stay there, if they're gonna. That's what I mean. I get a return ticket. I can have it to where, um, I can change. I put it for a certain time, and then I can change it if I need to. You know, so that's what I'm gonna probably. That's what I'm gonna do. So we'll see how things go. But I'm nervous and excited at the same time. For one, I've always wanted. I've been very drawn to the UK and that for a long time, for as far back as I can remember. Um, that's the exciting part that I'm going over and hopefully finding out why I'm so drawn to it. But the nerve wracking part is, this, the fact that it's not a vacation. Really, it's I'm going over there to find like that's what's nerve wracking about it and makes me nervous because I don't know what to expect, and that's what makes it even more nerve wracking. You know, but hey, I just gotta keep reminding myself everything happens the way it's meant to, and everything's gonna be fine. Right? Everything's gonna be fine. I feel it. So, but my goal right now is to. Oh, please stop freaking hurting. Everything will work out the way it's meant to. And even though I'm going for that, it's still a type of vacation, right? It's still a vacation. I should still enjoy my time while I'm there, not just stress about this, right? Even my landlord, I told her that I was, you know, my landlord knows obviously and everything. And I told her I'm only gonna stay for like 10 days. She's like, no, you gotta stay longer. You gotta enjoy yourself while you're there. So she knows where I'm going and everything. But she said I need to enjoy myself while I'm there too. So, I am glad I can't cancel the ticket, I guess. Because I did try and cancel it. I was going to cancel it and try and get my money back, but they won't let me get my money back. So if I cancel it, I'm out my money. So I might as well go, huh? So before we know it, I'll be heading over there. We got time before that happens, though, obviously. But first thing I'm doing is requesting as soon as I get over there to the airport and we land. I'm gonna. I'm not even leaving the airport. I'm gonna request to speak to the the proper authorities as soon as I get there. Give them the evidence. Answer whatever questions they have. Hopefully, do the test. And that's it. And then just wait for the results. That doesn't mean that's how it's gonna go, but we'll find out soon enough. You know, I can't wait either. But I got my ticket when I did. Oh, excuse me, because I want to make sure I have uh, the room taken care of and uh, money for when I'm over there. You know, gotta eat that kind of thing, and food stamps here don't work over there. So I want to make sure I have money set aside for everything, and that's why I put it up to when I did. So, I know everything will work out, and I don't have to worry about anything. I know it's going to be fine. And hopefully, the results will come back as, you know, hopefully it's a match, and the, yes. Yes, I have my passport and the ETA or whatever passport you need. I have both. I had those a while back before I got my ticket. So, yes, it's all good. I got everything taken care of when it comes to that. So I'm just, you know, biding my time and just going with the flow of things until then because, you know, maybe the reason I'm hurting so bad from these damn squats is because I'm supposed to be resting. Maybe I'm not supposed to be going to the gym right now. Maybe I am supposed to be resting because, you know, whenever I get over there, what's going to happen when it comes out that I'm over there to find out. You know, I can only imagine what's going to happen, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. Media is a strange thing, especially if a person is coming over who, you know, from the United States. I know. I'm, and you know I'm stubborn too. Yeah, I think that's why I'm supposed to be resting right now. Because I'm not, like, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with, like, media and shit like that. I have no idea how I'm gonna deal with it, but I'm gonna deal with it, you know, when the time comes. And I'm not ready for it, though. I'm not. Like, this is not what I wanted. I didn't ask for any of this shit, and but I deal with it. So I'm not sure. I've never had to deal with anything like this, obviously, before. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen yet, but I do know one thing. It's a feeling I have. I prove, you know, once, because I know I'm gonna prove who I really am. Because here's how I know. If I was not meant to know who I really am or prove who I really am, none of this would have happened. Okay, I would have never been told. I would have never known I was kidnapped. None of it. Right? I wouldn't have come this far if I was not meant to find out who I really am. Right? So I know it's gonna happen. I just don't know when, obviously. Um, but I have this feeling that once we prove who I really am and find out who I really am in that, and it's proven, chances are, because I only remember bits and pieces. Chances are they'll probably hypnotize me, right? And once they hypnotize me, they might end up solving. It'd be very interesting if they end up solving a lot of missing persons uh, cases by hypnotizing me, wouldn't it? Think about it. Think about, because I don't remember much of my life before I escaped, right? Think about everything. I only remember bits and pieces. What if it solves multiple other missing children's cases? For starters, Brad gets him reunited with his real family. And then there's Shane, and then the others before me. Because I can tell you right now what's going to happen with those motherfuckers. That family, for example, will rat on each other to save their own asses. That's what they do. Linda may be the leader, but she will rat on. She will do whatever it takes to save her own house. She couldn't handle, like, she could never handle jail or prison. I already know. That's why I know they'll rat on each other to save their own asses. So yeah, there's good. Don't be surprised when if multiple ones. Uh, Brad. See, she supposedly had Brad on August 14th, 1986. But here's the thing. I obviously don't remember her being pregnant and nothing like that because she wasn't. Um, but I don't remember him being there before he was two. He was there before he was two. There's no newborn pictures of him. There's no there's no first birthday. Nothing till 2 years old. A little before he would have turned two. Because they had a birthday party for him. There's pictures of it. That's the thing too. I don't remember. It sucks. I only remembering bits and pieces of your memories, and then of only having bits and pieces of memories that you remember. It's crazy, and it sucks because it drives you crazy trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, especially when you can't remember, and all you want to do is remember. But at the same time, remembering could be the worst thing for you. You know how the brain has a habit of protecting you from things that you can't handle, that it knows you can't handle? Yeah. Shade, Shade was after, he wasn't born till 91, and we went to live with Linda and Ralph in 1989. And then I didn't meet Shade until he was 2. 3, something like that. And I don't think there's any There's no pictures of her being pregnant ever, obviously, because she never could. I looked up the things about her, like what would cause a woman. Well, let me read it. Let me read it. What it come out to, because she was 5'8" to 5'10", wore size 10 in men's tennis shoes. Her ring finger was a size 11. Never had a monthly. Didn't grow hair on her legs or her face. Yeah. So, on this phone, I took the screenshots, I think. Yeah. Um, okay, so I said, what type of condition would get a woman to have an Adam's apple, not be able to grow hair on her face or her legs, not have a menstrual cycle, be 5'8" to 5'10", have a shoe size 10 in men's, and a ring size 11? The answer. Oh my god. A combination of traits like these, like the ones you described, strongly suggest an intersex variation, a difference of sex development, DSD, rather than a typical female or male puberty pattern. There isn't just one single condition that fits perfectly, but a few specific conditions are known to produce this exact mix of features. Now, mind you, I also found out that she had been on public assistance in 1972 and 1973. But why? In 1972, she was 12 going on 13. What happens when you're 12 going on 13? Puberty, right? Especially boys, right? So what would happen, because if she was born intersex at birth, they have to mark male or female, and most of the time, the majority of the time, they mark female. So they will be raised as a female. And then when they get to a certain age, puberty, they have to have certain procedures done, right? Especially if this is supposed to be a girl, you have to have that procedure done. And imagine being 12, 13 years old, being told that you have to have part of you taken off. That'd fuck you in the head, right? Something you've had your entire life. And the appendage, right? That's the best way I can put it. And then you're told that you have to have it removed. I can only imagine what that did to her, you know? Um, it says below are the most medically plausible explanations, and I think this one right here is probably what it is. Complete or partial androgen insensitivity syndrome, AIS. This is the closest overall match. Um, it says genetically XY male chromosomes, but the body cannot respond normally to testosterone. External appearance is typically female or mostly female. No menstrual cycle because you have no ovaries, no uterus, no ovaries. Little to no body hair on the legs, face, underarms. Um, can still have a visible Adam's apple because testosterone is produced even though it's not fully effective. Taller height, larger hands, feet, and ring size often discovered in adolescence due to lack of the menstrual cycle. Important detail, AIS can also be partial, meaning some masculine features like an Adam's apple or broader frame appear while others' facial hair and menstruation do not. And then there's another possibility is 5 alpha reductase deficiency, another intersex condition affecting how testosterone works. Testosterone cannot convert properly into DHT, which is a stronger androgen or something like that. Can result in tall structure, larger hands and feet, Adam's apple, minimal body and facial hair, no menstrual cycle, extra genitalia appearance can vary widely. So they may not have even known because I guess in some cases they, when you're intersex, you may not be born with the extra. I don't know, but all I know is I'm guessing she was because of the thing, in 1972 to 1973, being on public assistance. So basically, then after that, I asked, would this person be able to conceive children? Short answer, in almost all cases that match the traits you described, the person would not be able to conceive or carry a pregnancy. Why? Is because to conceive and carry a pregnancy, the person must have a uterus, ovaries that produce eggs, a menstrual cycle, even an irregular, and hormonal system capable of supporting pregnancy. The traits you listed, no menstrual cycle at all, minimal body hair, Adam's apple, tall structure, larger feet, strongly point to intersex condition where those reproductive organs are absent or non-functional. So there is no way, based on all the bottom line, natural conception would not be possible. Carrying a pregnancy would also not be possible in nearly all cases. And you're telling me she gave birth multiple times and got pregnant multiple times? When she had no way of getting, like, impossible? She didn't start growing her hair and nails out till after I was in that family, just like um, I think they had plastic surgery done too. I know they had her teeth pulled and did false teeth. The BS excuse I got as to why they knew why she had false teeth was because her teeth were eating themselves, were soft, they were falling apart and everything. But in that picture where she's holding the baby, where you can clearly see the baby is supposedly a month and a half old, but her hand is like half the size of the baby. According to the birth certificate, 7 pounds 8 ounces and 19 inches long. Her hand being half the size of that baby at least, or a little bigger. That's a man's hand. That's not a woman's hand. That ain't a woman's hand. Trying to find the picture on here where it shows. Because I don't want to get up and go get the damn picture. Because it hurts to get up. We have to get up and go find it. Maybe not. Bear with. And Heather Edgerton might actually be the girl in the red dress, too. Yeah, that or, Oh, sakes, where's the fucking picture? I know it's here. Like, I know the shit's here. Where the fuck is it? I think I'm getting close. Mr. Hope. Shit stitch. Okay, so the baby in this is um supposedly a month and a half old, right? And there's writing across it because I put a writing across it for the email. But I'll show you. So this is her. Once it focuses, okay, that's her. This baby is supposedly a month and a half old, right? When the baby was born, because that's supposedly me, right? So if the baby is a month and a half old, when the baby was born, so this is supposedly me, 7 pounds, 8 ounces, 19 inches long. If this is me, this would be a month and a half old. Look at the size of the hands. The hand is almost the whole size of the baby. Right there. Right there. You can barely see it, but it's there. Don't mind this. But yeah. So you want to tell me this is a woman, right? That's a stain on the picture, by the way. You're telling me this is a woman. Right? That's the suspect who took Catrice Lee. Yeah. Mouth and all. Look at the lips. Bigger lip here. Thinner lip up top. Bigger lip. Thinner lip. Now, was she born intersex, or was she born male and they turned her into a female? Knowing what these people do and everything, and either one's possible. But that's not the first baby either. They said this was me. This child has a normal right thumb. I don't. I have a club thumb. Zooming on Catrice, she looks like she has a club thumb. As far as I know, this is actually the first baby, but it may not be the first baby either. This baby was no longer with us when this picture was taken either. Yeah, I keep telling myself there has to be some explanation to this. This can't be real. I still have that problem. How the fuck? I, how's any of this real? How's any of this real? How's this real? It's never gonna feel real. Like, I can't, like, I put on a good front, but truth is, I can't fucking wrap my head around this. As many times as I've tried, I can't. I thought I could right now, but I can't. Because I guess because my I don't operate like that. You know, probably because I'm not evil or psychotic. Because how the fuck am I? There has to be a way for me to come to terms with this and be able to wrap my head around it. But I can't. And in my mind, I'm going, why? And I know I won't ever get the answer, probably, other than the fact that they're a bunch of psycho motherfuckers. But again, I'm like, why? All the children that have gone missing. Hundreds of thousands in every country. And I can't. I don't understand it. And I will never wrap my head around it. The truth is, no matter what bullshit excuse they give, there is no excuse. There is no. Like, you can't make this. There's no reasoning on earth that could explain any of this. None. And the truth, even if they tell the truth, it's just going to be even more unbelievable than lying. No, that's who they worship. Actually, who they worship is this owl god. I don't know the name of it, but he has the face of an owl and shit like that, the head of an owl, I guess. Joan's favorite animal was an owl. That shit. You know. The thing is, I was not made aware of any of this shit. I found pictures and stuff like that, and I would ask about the picture, like Howard wearing the fucking get up for the Scottish rites. Oh yeah, he had been in each and every one of them. You can ask anything you want. But Howard had been in Scottish rites and all that. Mason's was not the first one he was in. I guess it goes from like I'm wondering if it's like you're in one group for so long and then you graduate to a higher up group and then a higher up group and then maybe the Masons is the highest and then goes into the Illuminati. You know. Oh, how long did Sue raise me before I was taken to Linda? See, Joan was the one I grew up knowing as my grandmother. Um, so by all accounts, I was put as Heather in this fucked up role that's the best way I can put it. I was put as her daughter and that in probably 1986. Summer of 86 probably when I escaped. It would have been before summer. It would probably been spring. Um, the reason I'm saying probably spring of '86 was because when I remember it was hot out. And this was in Iowa, so spring '86 probably. So I've never fully. I've got different excuses. I got the excuse that she needed to have surgery, supposedly, uh, because she had cysts on her ovaries. No evidence of that. Clearly, there's no possible way. And then Lennon, they told me, oh, it's because she wanted to get help for her mental issues. And then the reason she signed over her rights or relinquished her rights, evidently, was because she was threatened. I remember I was packing up my stuff. This was probably 1998. I was living with her and her husband and that, and I in a really small, fucked up trailer park. You have trailer park trash. That's the type of trailer. Um, and I was packing my stuff. Jack was there, and because he was taking me back to his and Joan's house, and to stay with them. And I was arguing with her, and I said, "You didn't want me to begin with." And she says, "Yes, I did." I said, "Well, then why'd you sign that? Why'd you relinquish your rights?" And she said that they had threatened to cut her out of the will if she didn't. And right away, Jack said, "What will? There's no will." So, as far as whatever the real reason is, I'm guessing it's because she couldn't keep me under control. It had to be somebody that could probably because Linda's the most sadistic. That's why she's a leader. But yeah, that's why because Linda's the most sadistic, keep me under control. I escaped in probably 1986. I ended up in that family as her daughter, and then 85, 86. It probably it was either fall of 80, like the end of summer, beginning of fall in 85, or beginning of spring in 86, but it was very warm out. I remember that. It was very bright out too. But of course, if I escaped, that would, no matter how bright the sun was, how how bright it was outside, it would still look very bright to me. Like when I woke up in the backseat of that car, it was very bright and I was really hot. And I was sweaty. And wow, it counts that could have been winter, you know? Um, ask me whatever you want, I'll answer if I can. Um, but could be multiple reasons. Sue, wasn't a very fit person to have children to begin with. She was mentally unstable. What do you expect? And the only reason I was taken to Linda and Ralph's, it wasn't because I wasn't being taken, obviously. I wasn't taken care of, but uh, Linda didn't want me. She wanted Brad. She even said she wished she had never adopted me. But I think the reason they took better care of Brad than they did me was because by all accounts, if Brad is who I think he is, because I did find, if I found the person he really is, um, then his real family is very wealthy, and still in the States. Do I have any good memories of being with Sue? I don't have very. I mean, as an adult, yeah, I guess, but here and there. I protected her. And to be quite honest, if I'm going to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, there weren't any good memories with her. I don't know what fucking good memories I could have. Like what? Taking care of this kid that wasn't even hers either? I thought she was my mom. I loved her. Now I'd like to be at her, but not that I would. So I'm not a violent person. Uh, yeah. Um, we would go to like Joan and Jack's for holidays. Um, to be quite honest, to tell the truth about Sue, she's very neglective. Didn't take care of any of the kids. Three kids before me could eat. Let me remind you what the conversation. What if she remembers? Sue said, "What if she remembers?" Jack said, "Don't worry, she won't remember. She was too young. Just take better care of this one than you did the others." Sue said, "It wasn't her fault the baby fell." He said he didn't believe her because the first time. And here's where it gets very interesting because I don't remember Brad being there until he was a certain age. But there was a playpen, and I guess Carol and Linda came over, and I was supposedly at school. And they were looking for Brad. She said, "Oh, he's in the playpen." They looked in the playpen. There was a big full trash bag in the playpen and a vacuum cleaner. No, I don't have any contact with any of them. Yeah, she was a very neglectful mom, and not only that, um, Shane told me some things, which makes sense now as to why he was abusive to her. According to Shade, her and her husband would force him to more than that. Shane told me that John, Sue's husband, and Sue made him have sex with her. It wasn't just neglectful and lazy and selfish. It was she's fucking insane. They all are. So you have to be fucking insane to kidnap children and do horrific things to them, including well, we know what the Illuminati does, so including that. Because in no way, shape, or form did she ever give birth. You can't, like, she was. She was very mentally ill. I, of course, pretended she was, of course, I'm gonna wear the rose tinted glasses and say that she was, for a long time and protect, and defend her and protect her and everything else like I always fucking did. Um, but now thinking about it, a child like Shane started abusing her when he was about 3 years old. I have a chat later on. Have a good night. I should have known there was a reason, but I didn't. So instead of protecting him, I protected her from him, and I can think about the fact that she wasn't even a woman. Kind of fucking. It. She wasn't even a full. Like, she was born with a man, born intersex, no way she could ever fucking conceive children. And yeah. Um. She was very loud. She had a deeper voice than Carol and Linda, that's for sure. But like I didn't really notice, she had a deeper voice than a lot of than some men, actually. But I didn't really, some women have deeper voices. I didn't think anything. Of course, I didn't think anything of the fact that she was 5'8" to 5'10", and shoe size is size 10 in men's either. So that tells you anything. But like a fucking linebacker, completely off her goddamn rocker. I said I'm still trying to come to terms with all of it. And I don't think I ever will. Because I keep asking myself, how did I not know? How did I not know? How did I not know? Oh no, I don't believe she's dead. I believe she faked her death, and it was a show for me. Me and Brad, most likely. Shane believes she's alive too. Last time I talked to Shane was last year. Been almost a year. He believes he was taken from Argentina or something like that. But he also thinks he's 10 years older than what they say he is. I don't know how that would be because I remember him as a kid, so, if he was 10 years older, he would be, you know, my age. But he does look older than me, that's for damn sure. Shane and Brad, so we know Sue didn't have any of us, right? Sue could have never given birth, obviously, let alone never conceived. Um, we all believed that we were half brother and sisters, so we all believed that we were brother and sisters, yes. Um, so yeah, we all believed that we were actually biological siblings, just all different fathers. Um, but it just I will never understand it. But yeah, we Lynn and Ralph already adopted us when Shane was born, right? Yeah, when Shane was supposedly born, we were already with Lynn and Ralph. Um, Sue had a lot of mental issues, a lot. Uh, I'm sitting here thinking about it and how many mental fuck. But at the same time, I know there's reasons, and it's not just from genes, but things that had been done to Sue, you know? Like, think about it. You raised as a girl, right? But your siblings, and that they know that you're not full girl. right? So, and being the size you are, even being raised as a girl, you're going to be tormented in school, right? Not just at home. But then being, you get to puberty and then they have to, what if they didn't even warn her that she was going to have surgery or anything like that? Can you imagine what that would have done to anybody in that situation? Someone that already had mental health issues as it was, who was already being tormented in school and at home by her siblings, who are completely fucking insane too. That would have made it worse for her. Having one of her body parts taken off. Think about it. I can't imagine what she went through doing that, and that's no excuse for anything she did. You know, it's weird that I feel bad for her. Even after all this, I still feel bad for her. And I don't know why. I don't know why I fucking feel bad for that bitch. Shane, as far as I know, is probably homeless. No, wait. He might be back in prison. Because I know he was back in jail and facing more prison time. So, Shane, probably back in prison. He has a very, very bad addiction problem. Obviously, obviously there's reasons. But none of it made sense. The whole, like, her death and everything. It was all a show. It is almost 4 a.m. So I think I need to go to bed. And so I'm going to end this for now. And hopefully y'all have a great night and everything. But I need to go to bed. And the more I'm talking about this, the more I'm actually getting angry and upset at the same time. It's not good. You know. So, until next time, I hope y'all have a great night and everything. And, yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. It's alright. I'm gonna be sorry for. It's a lot going on. A lot with all of it. And, once it all comes about, I'm sure that, if my theory is correct and she did fake her death and everything and she is alive, they'll find out where she is. And I would love to be in the room alone with her for about 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Wouldn't take long. You know, no, it's not you, hon. It's not you. Um, do you think they let me be alone with them in a room for a few minutes so I could beat the fuck out of them? Any of them? Probably wishful thinking. Yeah. Anywho, so yeah. Till next time, I hope you all have a great night and everything. And next time, and we'll see y'all later. It is bedtime for me. But it is almost 4 a.m., so have a good night, guys.